got something to say. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up, get down. Everybody in the world know your feelings. Sing a little more love in the space. I got something to say.
What's up? What's up? Look at Mimi over there. What's up, girl? How are you?
Child, I'm good. How are you?
It paused for a second. I was just like, are we having problems tonight? Because you didn't say.
Child, we've been having technological issues all day with this. I don't know. I think too many people plugged in.
You've been having issues with your.
Stuff happening.
Oh, okay. Okay. You look really pretty.
Thank you. I ordered the wrong lipstick. So I was mad this morning, but I said, I like this shit.
Where are you?
It matches my top. You know, I like me a good old hoodie situation here.
You like put your hoodie on. Let me see. Let me see what this is. A half hoodie. If I would have known that, I'd have put on a hoodie today.
Yes.
So
I like your little headband situation you got going on now.
Thank you. You know, I think I have it upside down, but you know, it's gonna have to let me fix it because I don't want to,
whatever it is, it's working.
To talk about me and be like, he got his headband on upside down and you know, all this and that. But anyway,
you know, we practice how we gonna rock whatever it is. Even if it was wrong, we're gonna act like it was right.
So listen, how was your day?
My day was productive.
Productive. That's a good word.
I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done. Like I took some pork chops out to fry tonight. I said this ain't gonna happen tonight. So I ordered it's a pizza night. It's all right.
I love a good pork chop. I love a good pork chop. I haven't had pork chops in a minute, but I love a good pork chop. So listen, I like this little background situation you got going on over there. Where you at?
Oh, thank you. I'm in my bedroom.
Oh, this is the boom boom room.
No, this is my bedroom.
The boom boom room.
No, the boom boom room. Boom boom room. This is the bedroom.
This is where you really go to sleep at. This is the sleeping place.
Yeah, ain't no action going on in here. Nah, I ain't seen my dude in a minute.
Oh, okay.
I don't already told him. I said, look, I need to see you. I need you. I know this TMI, but I'm gonna say it. I said, I need you to fuck me like you unemployed and need a place to stay. Why you got your eyes all wide? Everybody on here.
That's what you told the dude?
That's how I told him he need to bring it, y'all. That's what I said.
Well, all right then. I ain't mad at you. So listen, you had a productive day. That's a good thing. I actually came home sick from work today. So I was a little under the weather today at work. And so I came home to finish my day out here. I had a bad headache. It ain't COVID, y'all. I took the test. It ain't COVID. It was just, I think it's just my
time. But you know what? People scared to have any type of ailment right now. Because shit, you can't say you got a cold. You can't say you got allergies. Everybody looking at you like,
Listen, my coworker Kim
just had other stuff before COVID happened.
Right. My coworker
Kim. I told him, if you're scared, get the fuck away from me.
Is that what you say?
That's all you have to do. That is.
My coworker Kim just texted me and said, are you feeling better? I was like, yeah, girl, a little woozy from this medicine. I took a strong pill to try to help me.
What kind of pill?
It was
I love your good pill, honey.
I read it, Sandra. I'm gonna call you. So what did I take? I think I took a Lortab or something. Something I had in there. I needed to help myself get better. I needed to get better in the moment. So listen, tonight is your night, Mimi. Mimi is in control of tonight. You know, it's when Mimi is in control, it's no telling what we're talking about. I just been given word that it's bar talk.
Yeah, we're gonna do bar talk, you know, just shit that we talk about at the bar. And it just so happened we had a real real juicy topic. I got real heated the
Oh, it got
other night.
good.
It was my Friday at work, child. I ended up not coming. I ended up not getting home till 4 in the morning. We was up
Because
there. I mean, we
of
was talking up some shit. Sunday. I mean Monday night.
the
So,
conversation.
huh?
A conversation had you there until 4 a.m.
Well, no. It had me like I normally get off. When I don't have a cocktail server, I can get off at like midnight,
Hmm.
but it happened to be busy, and I didn't have a cocktail, but they assigned me one. So, so I was supposed to just be there till 2 a.m.
Hmm.
But I had some of my regulars, and these guys, they like 13 years old. Y'all know when I say 12, 13, that's like they just starting, 30. So had two young guys, and they were talking about, because I really didn't get out of there until like get off the floor until like 2:40. So that's why I didn't get home till 4, because I got to go reconcile my bank and all this stuff. But anyway, what we were talking about, the topic was, they said, why have black women given up on black men?
Well, we
And,
hear that a lot.
and it's bullshit.
Do you think so?
It is. It really is. Because everybody, this is the thing. What I found now, that I'm really, really, really grown, about to be 50 soon, people don't own their own shit. Everybody wants to blame somebody else for whatever, you know. And it's a whole lot of people, um, black, and well, we talking about black tonight for this topic. It's a whole lot of black men and black women that are walking around with unhealed, unresolved hurt.
Hmm.
And when you have unresolved hurt and you have not healed, you are not completely whole. And when you're not completely whole, you can't go and try to start some shit with somebody, because it's not going to turn out well. It's not going to end well. And what I find is that normally broken people attract broken people, period.
Right.
Yeah. So when I was just saying, why do you think it's not, you know, when I just said, it's not one-sided? But why do you think that the black woman has given up on the black man?
I don't. I so I don't necessarily think that the women have given up on the men. I think that the blacks have given up on blacks. I don't necessarily is you can just say one gender and you have to go from there. But what I can say is that I believe it goes what's the way do I want to say it? I believe that there are some people that just will not date black people anymore. I think because of stereotypes that we get. Um, you can call me off guard,
No.
but it's
I mean, honestly, the best conversations are when they real and raw and
they
unrehearsed.
are. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I don't necessarily think that black women have given up on black men. I think some black women have resorted to saying that I just don't want a black man because they have equivalated living better with another race because the black people we have had it so hard. So then if you can get a step up and by dating someone outside of your race, then you would be better.
But you know what? Now, I understand why you think that folks would um, think that. I don't think we've given up on each other. I think we have been conditioned um, to think how other people perceive us. So we've been taught that we're insignificant and we don't have worth. So a lot of folks have taken that, how other people feel towards us as a race,
Mhm.
and they have embraced that.
I
And a
think
lot
so.
of times, unfortunately, um, we have equated success with having something other than us on our own. And I say men and women.
I will agree with that because I do have a friend that she has had it really rough with dating black men, and she's transgender. And so her thing is that black men don't accept, um, black men will accept it, but they can't take her home to their mothers and their families because they don't know
By
how.
accepting it means they'll fuck her, but they're not gonna take out the puppet. Yeah.
Right, right, right. And so what that has caused is for her, she has this thing now. It's just like I'm just gonna get a white man or I'm gonna get a Hispanic man because they really, really accept it and they I can do this. So it makes you wonder, what are we, but then it goes back to traditional learning, what we've taught ourselves, what we've been taught. We've been taught that homosexuality is wrong. We've been taught that, transgenders are freaks, that they are cross dressers and that they're men that have problems or females that have mental issues that just don't know what they want to be. So those are things that we've been taught about people, which are their incorrect thoughts or their incorrect terms to use when you're describing someone. However, that's what we've been taught. So a lot of people are still in this traditional learning of saying, oh, I can't do this or I can't do this, or I'm too ashamed to do this, I'm too ashamed to do that. So it's one of those things.
Well, I take it even deeper than that. I believe we are, as black people, we are caught up on image. Everything is how it looks. What does it look like? I don't want to, and that's what we've been taught. Don't look like what you going through. What go on in this house, stay in this house. You
Right.
know, and we are taught to look successful instead of actually being successful. And we have a lot of um we have a lot of these so-called success symbols. Normally it is, a high-end car, you know, or let's and I'm gonna take it to a lot of our successful black men, you know. It's fine once you struggle with us. We holding you up, building you up, you know, we eating the oodles and noodles with you. But when your ass eat steak and you drinking the fine fine wines and you actually make it, the symbol you have to have on your arm is a white woman.
And see, I
And for some
disagree.
of us, a white man. And that's the thing is, you can get treated like shit by anybody.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
But as a people, we've been conditioned. We have really been conditioned to not like ourselves.
We have. Now that we
Mhm.
have been conditioned is to not like ourselves or like anybody that's different, which I find it to be very, very crazy, seeing that we ourselves have been oppressed, marginalized,
Absolutely.
and just displaced and moved around and done whatever they want to do to us. And so why is it that we as black people are so harsh on the other on our own people? That's my thing. We're harsh on our own
Because
people.
we're doing what we've been taught.
We are doing what we've been taught, but it's time that we change
Absolutely.
that. And so like with black women, um I even with me being gay, um, I would much rather have a black man. I'm not turning myself off for love for different races. I'm not saying that. But I know that there are some successful black men out here that you can be with and that you can live with, that you can strive with, that you can do some things with. Just as well as I know that there are black strong females. Mostly all, not mostly, but all the females that I hang around with, that I have conversation with, are successful black women that are doing
Yeah.
it and making things work for them. So I think that any man that would get any one of them that's not already married or partnered up would be blessed, you know? And so I think it's really, we have to change our mindset. It's up
Mhm.
to us as Black people to change our mindset, but not just as Black people, but just as individuals, period. Um,
Right.
I spoke about on Sunday, I preached a sermon and it was called I Don't Mind Waiting. And what I talked about is that we've been so consumed with talking about the Karens. We're quick to talk about the Karens. You know, Karen did this, Karen did this, Karen did this. But what about the Keishas? There's some Keishas out there that's just as crazy as Karens. But we don't talk about both pieces because we're so into this
You know
point.
why? Because Keisha don't have no power. Karen does. That's why it's an issue.
There are
No, that's an
there
issue.
are some Keishas that have power, that mishandle their
What
power.
Keishas you know got power? Who?
I'm just saying there are some, Mimi.
I don't know. Let me
The
tell you
Keisha,
something. The
the Keisha
reason
are-
why
go.
that it's an issue when because when Karen calls, Karen got the power to get your black ass shot, potentially shot or abused by the police. Keisha might not.
Mhm.
That's why is the issue is totally different.
So do you think that some of the reason why Black women, why so the thing is Black women have given up on Black men? Is that what they stated?
But we're not, this is the thing. What I was stating to the young brothers is we have not given up on you all. It's just we're not going to accept what grandma and great grandma probably accepted because they didn't have options. We want, I know I want to have a beautiful black man on my arm. Absolutely.
Hmm.
However, but I'm not going to take shit. I don't have to, and I'm not going to. I'm
Well,
just not.
I think that for some of the younger generations, now the millennium, they are more so looking at, I ain't got to deal with the ghetto-ness, this clapping and this popping and always going off and this and that. When I can find someone of another race that's going to be submissive, that's going to say, okay, baby, you got it. I'm going to push you. I think that what has happened in our race now, there's been a shift to where Black women have become empowered, and it's frowned on from some men that are still living in this traditional learning. They don't know how to deal with an empowered Black woman. It's something totally different.
But this is the thing, and this is what I explained to them. I hate when people say I'm strong and I'm independent. Okay. I am resilient. Yes, I am. However, I would love to have a man I could turn the reins over to. But this is the thing, and this is what I was explaining to them. If your ass can't drive, why would I give you the keys to the car?
But my thing is, why do you have to turn the reins over? Why can't you share the reins?
What I'm saying is because in our culture, that is not that this was the issue that the guys are having. Um, they were saying, well, and this is what started the whole conversation, believe it or not. Something this stupid and trivial. I was because I had to stay there, and I had one of my players was drinking this aged scotch. So the bottle is really hard to open.
Hmm.
So I had a one of the paring knives that I use to cut fruit to try to get in between and pull the cork out of this bottle. So the young man says, "Oh, I can do that for you." I said, "Sugar, I cannot have you. You cannot touch this liquor." He said, "See, there we go. Y'all sitting up here, black man trying to help you out. You up here pushing me away, saying you don't need me." I said, "Sugar, that's not what I'm saying." I said, because if I had one of my male co-workers up here, I would definitely have him to open this bottle, to help me open this bottle. I said, I want to retain employment. So I cannot pass over this expensive ass bottle of scotch to you to open up. So that's where it came where we, because we're able to take care of ourselves that we don't need them. And that I'm like, that wasn't the case. Why can't I want you? Just because I can pay my own bills. I pay my bills because I have to. God knows I would love to have a man take care of everything here, and all I gotta do is cook and clean and love up on my sons. But that's not the case for me and a lot of my sisters out here. And in our culture, a lot of men do not like the fact that they cannot tell you what to do, because that's what they take as being the head and the woman being submissive, is that they can boss you around. But that's not how it's supposed to be.
Is that not how it's supposed to be? Or is that how we've changed it to be?
No, we're not supposed to. I mean, is that how you want it? You want to be able to? I know I don't want nobody telling me what the fuck to do all damn day. No,
No, but you
we're
have
supposed to
women
be in this
that do want.
together now. You are supposed to be my protector. You are the head, which means I trust that you are going to do what's best for myself and our family as a unit. Where a lot of men, a lot of black men that I've seen, they take that as submit means you supposed to take my shit and don't say nothing. Because that's what grandma did. That's what they saw. And
My
I have to,
my grandma didn't do that.
yeah, but mine did.
Mine didn't.
Mine did. My mother's mother did. She had 13 children. She had a degree.
Hmm.
My grandfather, he was educated as well, but she was stuck because she was a woman. She was stuck in the house being a homemaker. She
Hmm.
literally only left on Sundays to go to church.
Hmm.
That's where she could dress up and, actually go out and talk to adults. But she was stuck in the house cooking and cleaning all day, every day. She didn't have no options because women didn't have options back then. And that's what I was just simply saying. It's not that we don't need our black men and we don't want them. We want you to be the head, but you're not going to show your ass, and I'm just going to take your shit because I don't have to.
So then this makes me dig deeper at this. So do you think that a lot of women, there are some black women that still want that, that still want
There's a
some
lot
women?
of us that still want it, and the quality, gentlemen, and I'm not talking about I'm not even talking about the ones in the top 3%. I'm talking about quality men. A
Mhm.
lot of times, because they know, a lot of men know that they have the upper hand. They know um women, this is way more women and less of an inventory of quality men.
Mhm.
So they know this and they are using it to their advantage.
Right.
They are. And if you want is and unfortunately, if you really want a black man that is quality, they feel like you're going to have to just take this shit. And
Disagree. I totally disagree. I think that's a stereotype. I don't think that that black men, just because we make it, that we're looking for someone that we have to treat less than us or something like that. So I think
I'm
that's a
not, no, 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 no. I didn't say less than us. I said they know. Okay, so I'm gonna put it out there like this: when you have a black man that is making a significant income, a lot of times you are not the only one.
not true. That's a stereotype.
No, I see it every day.
I mean, you may see it, but that's
I
not
see it every day. It's a lot of them. I'm not saying everybody.
right.
A lot. The ones that are truly faithful and just want one woman, that is not the norm. It's really not.
So then maybe it's something deeply rooted. It's something that's happening at home. Um,
This is a cultural. This has been going on since the beginning. We have been conditioned this way, and
so
our race as a whole is sick and damaged, and we all need to heal because we have taken on other people's the way other races persona of us, and we have started to hate ourselves. I see it every day.
I mean, but I don't think our race is the only race that does this, though.
But I can't talk about nobody else's race because I'm not another race. We talk about black.
So then, in this situation, so let me ask you a question. So with black men, with the statement saying that black women have given up on black men, do you think that
No, this is what the gentleman have said.
right,
I didn't say that.
right, so
I
that's
know that.
with that statement being said by him, do you think that black men have given up on black women?
A lot of them have.
Okay, and why do you think that is?
I believe that they believe that we're not good enough.
Uh,
Hey,
okay. I mean, and it could be. I mean, it could be that.
the young brothers the other day at the bar, and that's why I got so heated. They said white women are just better.
And that may be their perception of a white woman. Maybe that's their experience of a white woman.
This,
However,
no, this is what they've been taught. This is what they've been taught.
I don't think they've been taught that.
Absolutely.
I don't see. I don't.
It's indirectly. Look, okay, let's and this is the thing that people don't pay attention to. You just think over the last 20 years, okay, with the exception of the Cosby Show, how many black men have you seen loving up and married to a black woman in these sitcoms and dramas?
You don't see a lot because we've not been in the mainstream to be on TV like
No,
that.
no, no. It's always a black couple. I mean, it's always a black man here or black woman here. What I'm saying is every time, and this is with the show, This Is Us, and let me see, This Is Us, Blackish, and Neighborhood have been three. But outside of these three shows in I say the last 4 years, before that,
Martin,
everything you saw.
Martin was in love with Gina. Martin was in love with Gina. You had who else?
Okay,
The
yeah,
Jeffersons. You had the Jeffersons back in the day. You had Good Times
that
back
was hold on. I said in the last 20 years.
the last 20 years. So let me go back in 2000. So then you've had Martin. You had I don't watch a lot of.
I watch a lot of TV.
I
And
don't
I'm
watch a
telling
lot
you
of.
what I've seen. And I challenge anybody watching this. If you can give me a black man on and loving a black woman on TV with outside of Martin, Cosby Show, and I'm not even talking about Good Times in the Jeffersons because that was in the 70s. And with the exception of This Is Us, now Grey's Anatomy, they just recently did that with with the couple. Normally, anytime it's a black man, it's like the doctor or whatever, it's always with a woman other than a black woman. They have conditioned us to believe that we don't love each other. We can't get along with each other. That it's only going to be successful if you match us with something else. That we are not, that black folks do not get along. And nothing can be further from the truth because I know a lot of successful black relationships. My parents are one, been married, almost 55 years.
Mhm.
So I know that happens. But what I'm saying is indirectly, we have been trained to seek something other than what raised us.
I think that's a stretch, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it
Right. And
because
that's why we're having the conversation. I don't think it's a stretch
I think
because
that's
I really believe, and you my friend, and I call you the mustard seed ministry for a reason because you look real deep and real hard for the good.
I
And I
agree.
look straight out, right there in my face. If it's some shit, I'ma call it some shit.
You
And
are.
that is what's been happening.
But so then
We
it's
don't
the
want
same
to
thing.
think that, but that's what's been happening.
So you think that that's the reason why black men now not, I don't want to use the word target, but do you think that's why black men now seek other races is because of what we've seen?
I've literally heard men say out their mouth and other nationalities, because I deal with all kinds.
Mhm.
They've come. I'm now in this country. I need to go find me a white woman to marry. They really believe that's the pinnacle of success. They truly believe that.
Yeah, I don't hang around them kind of people. I don't hear that.
I don't hang around them. I'm at work.
Right. So I mean, I don't hear that. I hear most times black men have become tokens. And they associate a black man as being, having a big dick or being
And that ain't always true. Lord knows.
it's not. And they associate it with that. They associate having a black man is somebody that, they're rescuing or that they're building up for success or it's a token. And the same thing with a black woman. It's often said that a black woman that they start talking proper or they want to be something that they're not, or that's the reason why they get the weaves and they do this and they do that, it's because they've lost their black heritage. They want to be better than. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it as just being one of those people that are doing what you have to do to succeed. Um, I I personally, I've dated a white man and a white woman, and both experiences were different for me. Um, it just it didn't work. It didn't work. It's not to say that it's off my board now. Would I do it now? I don't know. If I was approached right, possibly. I don't know. I
No,
don't. I don't.
I'm not doing it.
I know you're not doing it, but I'm
I
saying
ain't
for
never
me.
played in the snow, and I have no desire to.
So I mean, but I just think that for us as people, we can't forget that there are you know I think that there's love in everywhere. I don't think that love necessarily has a color.
Okay.
I don't. I really, really don't. I don't think that, because if we went by that we wouldn't have our nephews and our nieces that are biracial and things of that nature. They would be out of it. And I think a lot of these shows speak to what's now. What's now is there are a lot of biracial couples. There are a lot of biracial couples. And I know what you're saying, and I agree some part of what you're saying, Mimi, but I just really don't believe that we've been given that platform. You don't see a lot of black people on TV. You don't. You don't.
See
And
a lot of
even
black people on TV.
no, you don't. Not in major roles. You do not. We're
I,
we are supporting actors or supporting actresses, but you don't see us a lot in these main roles as we're leading something. For example, 911. I watched 911. Miss Angela Bassett. She's with a white man, but she started off with a black man. She started off on the show with a black man, but he was gay. Okay, so then he
Mhm.
went and got him a black man, and she got her a white man. Okay, cool,
I
but
mean, but that's her show, so
that's on the show. You
no,
know
that's her show.
that is her show. It is her show.
So
But then
she is leading, and she yeah.
right. But then, so then what do we say about her? Do we say, oh, a black woman can only be successful after hurt is if she goes with a white man?
I haven't even said that.
No, but I'm
I
saying,
haven't even said that as of yet. What I'm saying is that's a lot of people's mindsets. That's
mhm,
what I'm saying.
mhm.
And on television, because everything got to be politically correct, and it's all about, but that's what they say, you know, that oh no, we're just trying to reach a broader audience, and a lot of times it's bullshit. They a lot of times they teaching us, or they putting on us what they want to put on us. Period.
So then why then are we so weak-minded? If that is the case, why are we so weak-minded to fall into what that is?
We've been conditioned that way. We have we have literally just been out of the whole civil rights, situation less than 40 years. And we still, it's
More
racism
than
is
40
so
years for
prevalent, and the
me.
veiled racism is still so prevalent. It's I don't see how you don't see it.
I mean, it's not that I don't see things. It is what I choose to do with things. Just because I see it doesn't mean that I have to fall victim to it.
I'm
Um,
not falling victim to it. I'm That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've been conditioned that way, and the easiest way to enslave someone is to have their mind. That's the hardest thing to change is somebody's mindset. If you've been conditioned, and I mean, if you just look at all of the doll tests they've had, and every the white doll is deemed as prettier than the black doll. Every movie, anytime the villain, what is the villain wearing? The villain is wearing black. The people that appear in good are wearing white. These are all things that people don't pay attention to. They condition you and they train you to think how the fuck they want you to think. And a lot of us, this the TikTok generation, the what's all these little reels and different little apps, and nobody and what they call it, the influencers. That's a nice word for saying brainwasher. They teaching you, they showing you, and they getting you where they want you. Period. You doing a lot of people are weak minded and fall and prey. They don't even realize half the stuff they do and why they do it. They being trained, and we all have been, a lot of us have been trained. That's why they say that thing stay woke or get woke, because the media trains a whole lot of us. Period. We start to think shit is our idea. It ain't our fucking idea. We've been told this is what the fuck we want, and don't even realize that we've been told that this is what the fuck we
hmm. Interesting. That's interesting to me. And I guess because I don't, I'm not, I guess I don't look at it like that. I know that there are some people that look at it like that, that are just are in this state of saying, this, they're always against me. They're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this. And my thing is, okay, so if we know that that's how they act or that's what they're doing, what are we doing to make ourselves better? What are we doing to get ahead? What are we doing as a people trying to
we
help
acting
other
like
people?
them.
Huh?
We acting like them.
So how do they act? How do they act?
If you let's go all the way back. Black people were brought to this country to basically work. We the one that built up, that started this whole our economy. We fueled the economy through sweat equity, and now through our own hard-earned money, trying to um, look like and be
Okay.
like what we deem success is, which is them, because their life has always been easier and it's been made easier by us. If you go back and you read all the history books, you see everything that we use today has been invented by a black man. Every single thing. And when I say black man, I'm talking about black man or woman. Everything. But we those things were invented out of necessity. We invented stuff to make our jobs easier because we're the ones that had to do them. So if
Mhm.
you think of everything that we have contributed to society, everything that we use has been productive, and we weren't allowed to use them. Now, if you want to go and you look at, because as a people, and I'm not saying that that we don't have exceptions to the rule, but as a whole, we used to stick together. We weren't stealing from each other and killing each other and raping. That was all stuff that our slave owners did to our people. So that's why I say that their contribution to society has been raping, pillaging, stealing. It's been a lot of violent, disgusting things.
I disagree because I think that Black people, as a whole, we've always fought against each other. Even back in Africa, you had the different tribes fighting against each other. The tribes were
Mhm.
fighting for power. So it didn't. We can't put everything. I think that we give them too much credit, saying that, oh, y'all caused us to do this, y'all caused us to do that. No, we were fighting over in Africa against each other. You had this tribe fighting against this tribe because this tribe thought that they were better, or this tribe wanted this much
Mhm.
land, or this or that. Even in coming over here, there were still raping and stuff going on within our own communities. Why? Because as slaves, I see something I want, I'm gonna take it. I mean, and I'm not saying that we can't say that some of it was contributed from us being oppressed, but that's not something that we just learned when we got over here. I totally, I think that is a
Completely
condition of learning.
disagree. Because I don't, as a whole, that's not our nature.
What do you mean it's not our nature?
It's not.
So are you saying that
We
we
are
as
normally a loving people. Like I said, there are exceptions to every rule.
no, no,
Hey,
no,
it's
no, no, we're
okay.
not.
That's why we're here.
We're
We can
not
agree
loving
to
people.
disagree. It's all right.
Because if we were loving people, we wouldn't have a problem with our children being gay. We wouldn't have a problem with looking down on Uncle Mo because Uncle Mo went to jail, and we think that we better than Uncle Mo. We wouldn't
This
have
is
a
the thing.
problem if we were
We
loving
have just
people.
gotten to the point where we're getting some semblance of success. And it's okay. Hey, you don't have to agree, but I see things differently than you see them.
We've always been these people.
Absolutely. You said what?
We've always been this people.
I
As
don't.
far as
I
even
don't.
growing up, I mean, there was different people that just didn't. I mean, I can't give the white. I can't give a white society that much control to say that they caused us to start hating our own race. I can't do that.
But it has happened. We have been conditioned to not like ourselves. Absolutely.
I I just
It's okay.
I think that's a
That's why we're here. We
that's a
having a
hard.
discussion.
We having a hard. This
Yeah.
I mean I just don't see that we as a
And
black.
I see it, and I see stuff in a way that you don't see it.
Mhm.
So I see that it's still happening.
It is still. I'm not saying that it does not happen, but
I mean, on a main scale,
it's just
with our look, with our they've always told us in a roundabout way, in a really you know um in a sneaky way. Oh, your look is it's not corporate enough. What the fuck do that mean? It's too black. You know, your hair, the texture of our hair, um, you know, the wide hips, and the different ballerinas and stuff. They couldn't be ballerinas because they, you know, that pear shape, our natural pear shape. Well, a lot of us, everybody don't have it, but you know, they have that the body type is not right for this or that right there. That is conditioning you, whether you want to admit it or not. That's conditioning you to not like what you are naturally. And we're going to the plastic surgeons, and we're trying to get that, folk taking out ribs, and we wearing all these damn waist trainers and all that type of shit because we trying to look like Kim K, and that bitch trying to look like us. But it ain't cool to look like us until Kim K and J Lo look like us. Now it's all right.
but if you
That's
go
what I mean with the conditioning.
but if you
It's
do
deep. It is very, very, very deep.
it is, but if you go back and look at the history, Africans were wearing waist trainers back in the day. They used to do that as a ritual after a woman had a baby. It was to bind them and to bring in their waist. So this is something I don't give the white people authority. I don't see them.
Well, you look at when they came here, when we were brought here, how the white women were buying they were getting their dresses made basically with asses and stuff, the
Mhm.
trying to look like us. What I'm saying is, at one time we didn't have a problem looking like us until they started doing it. Now it's okay. This is what the fuck I'm saying. And I think you sometimes I think you get to a point where you just want to argue with me. You just don't want to.
No, no,
No,
no. I'm just not going to agree with what I don't believe in.
my
I used to
opinion
be
right
that
there.
person.
You said what?
I said it's just certain things that I just don't agree with. It's not the
I,
point that I'm
but what I'm saying is just
arguing,
let me get out what I'm trying to say.
but you've gotten it out, and I'm just
I
rebutting.
haven't. I wasn't finished my thought,
Okay,
but
well,
it's
go ahead and
okay.
finish. Go ahead and finish.
All right, we'll move on.
But why are you taking the stance of becoming angry? Because I'm giving you a rebuttal.
It's not about you. I'm angry at the fact that as a black woman, how I know who I am.
Hmm.
And I am stereotyped every day as being angry, as being aggressive, because I want to get out here and I want to make a better life. And I can't sit around and wait for a man to do it for me. Absolutely, I'm angry. I'm angry every time I see, this beautiful bronze color that I have. But it was deemed as it's not good enough until white and big white get over here, get a spray tan, and they want to lay out in the sun and look like us. And now, because they're doing it, it's deemed as beautiful. Yes, I'm very angry. You ain't do it. Society's done it, and it's stuff that I see and I hate it. And it bothers me that I can't do shit about it.
So if you can't do anything about it,
Mm-hmm.
this is my question for you.
Yeah.
If you can't do anything about it, so then what then do you do? If you don't feel like you can do anything about it, then what do you do in a moment
You
like this?
can't. I can't do anything, and that's the frustration and the anger.
Okay, Adrian has a question. She says, Monty, what are your recommendations for your people given your position on our interrelational disposition as far as we are treated, how we treat one another? I think that, we've always been taught, as Mimi says, that white is right. I don't agree with that. I don't think that white is right. The lighter you are, the better you are, or the prettier you are, or this or that, the smarter you are. I don't agree with that. I feel as though that we have to get to a position so where we start treating people equally, period, point blank. That's where I stand. I don't necessarily think that, is there a way that we can try to teach our people, how to respect people or whatever. I don't know. I treat my children are biracial. They're Hispanic and Black. We tend to lean toward the Black heritage. Why? Because I'm Black. Their father is Black. And so I teach my children because society is going to look at them as being Black men. At the end of the day, you're a Black man. And so this is how you need to carry yourself. So my thing is we have to treat each other better. We have to educate one another. We have to teach our biracial children the other race, the other side of that. There is a place that, I think that we get to. My sister-in-law, we used to argue about it all the time. She would tell my niece she was brown. And so she would tell my kids, oh, y'all are brown. My kids are Black and you are Black. And she was just like, no, we're brown. I'm brown. And so her mother and I had a big fight about that because she was trying to teach my children that they were brown and not Black. And so she was going off skin color. She was looking at them and saying, you're brown, you're not Black. Well, I'm sorry. And society says that we're Black men. And so what you have to do is you have to teach your children their heritage. I think it's very, very important. And you asked me another question. Why do you feel Black women have given up on Black men? I don't necessarily think that they have. I think that there's just a fit for every person. I think that people are going through what they go through. They choose what they want. I necessarily don't think that Black women have given up on Black men. But I want to go back and I want to address what Mimi said, because Mimi said that she's angry because, you know, she works hard, she tries hard, she does this, and she's stereotyped as being an angry Black woman. Well, you're not the only person that's stereotyped. As a Black man, I'm already stereotyped when I walk in anywhere as I'm going to be a thief, I'm going to steal, I'm going to hold somebody up, I'm going to grab somebody's purse, I'm going to do all these other things that they have said that Black people do. I mean, so it's a Black race that is stereotyped. I just don't necessarily think it's just Black women. They think that Black men are angry. I work in a field to where I encounter all races of people that come from money or come from nothing. And I deal with this on a daily basis, you know, and even with these students being as young as they are, they come in with white privilege. I've had a young lady sit across from me and just boohooed and cried and said, I have a problem with men being in authority. No, you have a problem with a Black man being here, sitting here telling you what you can't and cannot do in the school. That's what bothers you. It's not the fact that you have a problem with somebody being in authority, a male figure. It's not that. It's just, let's just call it what it is. It's because a Black man.
But that's the thing. See, just right there, you have just told her how she felt. You don't know. Just like we were just talking, that might be her truth. You don't know if she was raped. You don't know. You don't know what it could be.
She is the same girl that said that she wanted to have a redneck day at school. Same girl.
Okay.
Same girl. So I mean,
just like we proud of being Black. How we say I'm Black and I'm proud. Why the fuck they can't say I'm proud to be a redneck?
But what is a redneck?
But we know we have what we think one is, but we don't know what she think it is.
So if you want the entire student body to dress up as a redneck, how then do I dress up as a redneck?
Well, that's what you have to ask her. I can't answer that question for her.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did she say?
To be proud. How do I dress proud? How do I dress proud? It's my heritage. It's the way I was raised. How we're strong white people. We come in. So how do I dress strong? How do I dress strong? Tell me how to dress strong so I can dress up for this day, so I can support you in this moment.
Right.
And she couldn't do it. But when I read the definition to her, which it means white trash is what it means. It means that, you know, that they're less than. So if I was to dress like that, then I would be offensive to you. It would become offensive to you.
But see, this is right there. That's conditioning. Period. And just like she's been conditioned, if she's been conditioned, who's to say we all have not?
And that's what
we do. We absolutely do.
I agree with you. I'm not saying I disagree with you not being conditioned, but what I'm saying to you is I think that we give them too much power in saying that they control this and that and this.
We
and
don't
that.
have to give them power. They got it.
I disagree.
I know, but they do. We don't like it. I don't like it, but they do. Just like how they say racism, how they say Black people are racist. Racism, you can be prejudiced, but racists have power to do things. We are not the ones in power. We are not.
Are you a racist?
No, because I ain't in power. Do I have prejudices? Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
So I've been called prejudiced. They tell me that I'm racist at school. I've been told that. They've labeled me that. And hearing your definition of it is saying that somebody that's in power, then maybe I do. Maybe I am. But I know that that's not who I am. You know, it's just I'm just fair. I try to be fair across the board. And so I don't know.
When they call you a racist, I think they're just trying to hurt your feelings. They're trying to hurt you because they know that's a negative. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they are successful, but
right.
That is the purpose of it. Because nobody wants to be deemed as a racist. Nobody does. Even racists that are racist, they don't want you to say the shit out loud. They don't want other people to know. Hence the hoods and hiding, behind the sheet.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Why do you feel like black men feel that black women have given up on them? Why do you feel like that?
I don't think all of them have. I don't think all of them feel that way. I think with these particular ones that I have that I talk to every day, they come just like we were at the casino. I'm at work, okay? They hanging out at 2 a.m. You got your woman and your kids at home. I think they feel that way because folks are calling them on their shit. They're just not going to let them just accept the bad behavior or the disrespectful behavior in a relationship. That's what I see, and
Is that
that's how.
disrespectful? Is that
Huh?
disrespectful for a man to stay out to 2 o'clock in the morning and have kids at home?
This is the thing. I'm not saying it's disrespectful, but they won't stand for it if a woman tries to do that. That's what I mean. So things that they expect out of the woman, they're not doing it themselves. And that's what I mean. That's where I say the disrespect.
I mean, I know some people that they can go out and they can kick it all night long and come home and their husband is fine.
Okay, but that don't happen every night. These guys are here every fucking night.
So then,
Every night.
yeah.
And I know for a fact that's not going to stand for them. Just like I know a lot of men of means that are in my bar and we talk all the time. And the stuff that they do, they say straight up, my wife better not try none of this shit because I'm out of there. Just like you have a man that will constantly cheat on a woman and she'll take him back. But let that woman, after he done cheated maybe 4, 5, 6 times, let her have one infidelity, his ass is out of there. That's what I mean. The double standard.
So do you think that that's because they've been conditioned that way?
Absolutely. That's what they've seen.
And who have
That's
they
what
seen
they've
do
seen.
that?
Most people pathology, your pathology is what you have seen repeatedly, throughout your life, growing up, what you seen your mama do, what you seen your daddy do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
These are learned behaviors.
Okay. Learned behaviors. So where do we think they learned them at? You said they learned it from the mom and the daddy. This. So if we dig deeper, granddaddy was doing it, grandma was doing it. So
You
it's
want to go real deep, our black men were used to breed slaves. So they took that big black butt and took them from this house to this house to this house, well, this hut to this hut to this hut to this hut. And it's still happening. And the thing is, you naive. I would call anybody naive to think that this shit, that we have not been conditioned this way.
okay. So then prior to that, before we got over here, you had kings that slept with all these concubines, had all these wives.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to take that into account. We're not going to look at our history to where we're going to say that the kings had 10 or 15 wives and the wives had all this.
But that's, and I'm not saying that I agree with everything that happened back then, but this here with these men, with what they did with with the Bucks, going from this house to this house to this house. These wasn't wives. They wasn't in relationship. They was fucking them. They was rolling out. They never saw their kids. They never acknowledged their kids. That's what I'm saying, huh?
That's what most kings did. They really wasn't in relationship. They had so many they couldn't be.
But those that was their lineage. I'm not familiar with kings that didn't acknowledge all their damn kids from their wives.
The kids, but not their wives. They was just another person.
Okay, but so
I'm just saying. I mean, if we go,
I know, but what I'm saying is, because this is the thing. I understand what you're saying, but you can't discount what I'm saying. Like, this is not valid.
I'm not discounting what you're saying, but I want you to look at it from another perspective. Everything is it's learned.
That's
Like
what I just said that.
I'm listen to me. Everything is
Yeah.
learned. The white people got it from somewhere. They saw us already doing something. Where do you think religion came from? They learned a lot of the
You
religious things.
already know how I feel about religion.
I
So
know.
yeah, so I think all of them full of shit.
Well, I'm just saying, so we can't just set up here. And so I think that that's part of the
But I'm
issue.
talking about I'm talking about our people now. This is learned. And it feel like we making the same point, but you just want to argue. That's what it feel like.
Well, it's
It's
just
the
that I'm not
same
going to.
fucking thing. This is learned behavior. We have been conditioned and we have been trained.
But what
This
I'm
stuff
saying to you is you're
this
blaming it
is
on
it's
white
and it's
people.
subliminal.
You're
Some of the shit is right in your face, and a lot of it is subliminal.
what I'm saying to you, and it's not an argument, it's a conversation. So I hate that you think that I'm arguing with you because an argument is for me to totally disagree with you. That's an argument. But what I'm saying to you is I agree with you, but I still believe that you're giving the white people too much power because we were doing some of this bull crap over.
I can't give them power because I don't have it to give them. I'm making an observation.
And what I'm doing is I'm simply saying, Mimi, it just didn't start when we became slaves. We were already doing some of this foolishness. We were already doing it. But
Okay.
we don't like to talk about that piece of it. We want to blame, we want to say, oh, well, they did this to our women, they did this, they did this, they did this. But then we were doing it over there too. It is the
But
culture.
this is the thing. This is the difference here, and I respect what you're saying. The difference is because our ancestors were stolen, so we don't really know what the fuck they was doing because we don't know who we are. We don't know our names. We can't track nothing back because we don't know.
We
All
don't.
we know is from. I'm saying for me.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what tribe or what region in Africa I come from or my people come from. I don't know what my name was. All I know is all of these. I know my slave name now and the one I took when I married, him and the other one I had when I married him. None of these was ours, so I don't know. I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying also is we don't know because our legacy was stolen. We don't know how, who married who and how many wives this one had or what they was doing back in Africa because we cannot trace it. And that's what I'm simply saying. Because we can't trace it, we don't know who we are, and we have been trained, and we'll continue to be trained and brainwashed. Continuing.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. I just I think a lot of it is our history. If you go back and we look at some of the African history, they cut the woman's clitoris so she has no feelings during sex.
Hmm.
They degrade the women. They were doing that prior to slavery. So it's all
Pretty much every race except the white race. The white woman was placed on a pedestal. But you think of, most races, no, the women do not. The women are insignificant.
so I think it's very valid. I think what you're saying is valid. So I don't want you to ever think that I'm trying to just argue with you, but I just want you, it's just that it's just certain things that I just can't see. I don't see it like that. And it's not an argument, it's a discussion. And you're
Mhm.
saying that I just want to argue with you. No,
Well, I mean, an argument is a discussion.
it can be.
It's just a heated discussion.
Mhm. It's just that,
It's all a discussion. It's all how you look at it.
okay. Well, I'm not arguing with you tonight. That's not my intent. But the floor is back in yours. You go ahead. So how
You
did
said,
y'all end? How did y'all
oh,
end?
we not talking about this no. I ain't know.
No, we're still talking. I'm asking you, how did it end?
You said, how did it end?
Yeah.
Basically, the gentleman, the ones that they said that I ended up abandoning them. I guess the points I was pushing buttons that they weren't um or bringing up emotions they weren't equipped to deal with, and
Hmm.
they ended up walking off angrily
Mhm. Mhm.
because they no longer want to talk about it. But I will say this, it hurt me that they really believe that we have given up on them, because with conversations I've had, that I continue to have with so many of my sisters, if anything, we're frustrated. That's what I'm just gathering as a whole. I'm not just saying me. Black women are frustrated as a whole. And a lot of times they say that we've given up on them because, like I said, we're not accepting the bad behaviors, which is unfair.
Hmm.
And like
So,
I said, it hurts because that's not the case. Because my thing is, I love you enough where I'm going to hold you to a standard. I want you to do better,
mhm.
you know? No, I don't want you teaching my sons this behavior because I want them to be better. I don't want them to be this.
Okay. So, true story. My son, the oldest one, even the youngest one, will tell you that they feel like their mother gave up on them. They feel like their mother gave up on them. Why? Because they
Right.
don't feel like that she fought for them. They don't feel like that she really, really persevered hard enough for them, to keep them from going into the system. Now, here
Right.
it is. You have a black man that adopted these two boys, um,
Right.
which is not normal for that to happen. You don't hear about that a lot to happen.
Right.
But you have this black man that adopts these two children and that tries to give them the best. Now, I didn't do it alone because I then later married Jacoby, and
Right.
Jacoby has played a big role in their life. Um, so then you look at all those different pieces, but then there's still resentment there towards the black woman. Why? Because that's all they knew that their mother was, and she's not even black, but she's Hispanic. However,
Right.
they equate that with still being as black because all of her all the men that she was ever with were black.
Right.
So here it is, they're angry with her. They're angry with her. And so they're trying to figure it out. But you still have the fact that even when they're dating, Josiah leans toward black women. Von Trey will lean towards a Hispanic woman or a biracial woman.
Right.
I've never known him to ever date a black woman. I can't recall of a black girl that just Von Trey's ever dated. Josiah's always dated black women. Now, do I equate who they date with hurt? I do. I think that a
Absolutely,
lot of
because it is.
I think a
And
lot of
we said this last time we had this conversation when we had the on one of our earlier shows about the biracial dating. And I stated that I believe that most black men that go to a white woman have mommy issues. Absolutely.
right. And so then my thing is, if we look at it from that perspective, then I can see why some black men feel like that the black woman has given up on them. It's because they're coming from mommy issues. They're coming from past hurt.
Absolutely.
They're coming from past hurts. So for a black man to say, "Well, I just choose not to be with a black woman because they've experienced trauma from a black
Absolutely.
woman, their mother," then I can't fault them for that. That's something that they have to work through because they feel like white is better just because they've experienced trauma. And so
Right.
I think that's where a lot of it comes from. It doesn't come from that, oh, a black woman is so bad, or she doesn't look this way, or she doesn't look this way, or she doesn't look that way. I think it comes from trauma. And I think that a lot of times we
Yeah.
ignore what the traumas are in life. And that's the reason why we deal with the things that we deal with.
And that's why when I started out, I said we are unhealed. People are walking around here with unresolved and unhealed hurt. That I mean, and you take that with you through life. I'm still healing. Because sometimes healing takes a lifetime. I realize that every relationship that I've had, I'm still I'm still thinking like that violated 4-year old,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know? And sometimes, you can you can fall in love with, I'm not gonna say fall in love, you're just used to um abuse.
You know,
Some people they run towards it, and some people, they run away from it. But either way, it's dysfunction.
prime example, my marriage to when I was married to a female. I was her third husband. She had
Hmm.
been abused in all three of her relations, all two of the other two marriages. She had been abused, physically abused. And so her thing was to physically abuse me because that was what she was accustomed to doing, was fighting. And it was fighting. And she had conditioned her mind to say, oh, you don't love me unless you hit me. You don't love me unless you beat on me, which is so untrue. But that's how some people believe. Even as far as food stamps and things of that nature. When a person grows up on food stamps and they see how people have beat the system, and sometimes they're conditioned to believe, oh, we just gonna get on these stamps and we're gonna be on assisted living for the rest of our lives because that's what my mama did. That's how we made it. Even with me being a church boy, I grew up going to church 6 days a week. That has been instilled in me that I need to go to church. But it wasn't until I developed my own relationship with God and I figured it out for myself with God that I said, okay, so this, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I can still have a cocktail and still love God. So my mama would never do that. And some of the people that I grew up in church would never do that. But I know that that makes God not love me any less just because I may have an alcoholic beverage or I love a man. So it's one of those things that where I don't necessarily think that black men think that black women have given up on them. I think that black men are still suffering from trauma because
Absolutely.
most
And
times
that's what I told these young brothers.
most times black men,
Mhm.
and I know that the black woman has it hard. I know that they have it hard. I'm never going to take away from what a black woman goes through and the experiences that they have, but I tend to lean toward that a black man has it harder than a black woman.
I disagree. And
I,
I no, I get it. But let me just give you this example. And I think shared this with you before. So, and I know I use a lot of slavery references because I like to go back to where I believe it began. So, just take this for example. You have this, let's say enslaved, that was slave. You had a black man and a black woman that jumped the broom. They married. Okay. Now you have the master and his friends come through and decide they're gonna take your wife
mhm,
right in front of your face. Now they gang raping her. They raping, they just taking turns while you standing over there watching
mhm,
and you broken because it's nothing you can do. Is you are powerless. It's absolutely nothing you can do. The woman you love and are supposed to protect, you cannot do so.
mhm,
Now while you over there crying and she's taking this and she's being violated over and over again. When this is over with and they have finished with her, normally what a black woman would do, we would go console you, tell you it's all right. It was nothing you can do. I don't value you any less. I don't love you any less. And we back trying to build you back up. But after that, after we done built you back up, it's nobody there to build us. That's why I say it's harder. Because even though we know the world done beat your ass up and left you with nothing, we the ones that have to hold you up and there's nobody left. After we pour into you, we empty, there's nobody left to pour back into us. That's why I say we got it harder.
So you don't think that these men poured into their wives whenever they were being raped and stuff like that? Like they just sit over in the corner and cried. You don't think that they was like, "Baby, I'm sorry. I wish I could have did this." You don't think that they poured into each other?
I believe that they were let me tell you that that's a with that type of violation being done to you, I believe that he was sorry and he felt like shit. But what I'm saying, this is the point I'm making. She had to build him back up, tell him, you know what? We put ourselves to the side. We put our hurt and our violation to the side because we see that you hurt.
Hmm.
We see you couldn't have done anything about this. You were powerless. And we do this all the time. And I know women that do this still now to this day. We're going to build you up. We pour into everybody else. It's nobody left to pour into us. So yeah, that's why I say it's harder for us.
So what about the black men that were raped back in the day, that were raped
Mhm.
as slaves, and they couldn't go home and tell their wives that they had been. How do then the weight that they carry? What about the times that black men go into these jobs and they're degraded on their jobs and belittled on their jobs, but they still have to carry the weight because they know that they have to take care of their families.
Right.
Or if they don't do it, then the family's going to suffer. There's been I think that we carry the weight equally as a black
Not
culture.
equally.
I think it's equally as a black culture because at the end of the day, I think that there are some parts of me that believe that black men have it harder. We
And, and that's what I just because you are a black man, so your experiences are different than mine because I've been that wife that the world done beat you up and you come home and you take it out on me. And I'm still
and
loving you and still supporting you. And that happens to a lot of us.
it just doesn't happen to y'all though. It happens to us
I
too.
see a lot of us, I can't talk about nobody else. I can only talk about what I experienced. I'm a black woman. I'm not a white woman or a Hispanic or an Asian woman. I'm not. So
Mhm.
I can't say what they go through. I can only go by my experiences and experiences of people that I'm close to and that I've seen. And I do have majority black friends.
Mhm.
And
I
this is I'm just all I'm talking about is from my experience. I
Mhm.
can't talk about from somebody else because pain don't have a color, it don't have a gender.
Mhm.
And everybody's when it's happening to you, it's the biggest thing there is. But I'm just simply saying from these type of examples, I really believe we got a heart
Okay.
to do.
And that right there could be why black men feel like that black women have given up on them because they won't acknowledge our pain.
Even though we have not.
But it appears that if that's the way that black women think that they've had it harder than being a black man, because it's like that y'all are ignoring our pain.
We're not ignoring your pain. What I'm saying is we're the ones that build you back up. When we build you back up, it's we're not we taking out we it's not about us. We've been brought up as a culture and as black women that we have to tend to our man's needs. It's about him. You got to build him up. You got to make him feel like he can get out there and conquer the world. You got to be his soft place to fall. We're not taught that this is what he's supposed to do for you too. We're not.
Deep. That's deep. That's deep. So then, what do you teach your boys? What are you teaching as a black woman, as a woman that is creating jobs and doing things for herself? What do you teach your boys?
What I'm teaching them is that you not only have to be her provider and you have to, provide for your family. And I'm teaching them to be true heads of their households, to take into account her feelings, her needs, you know, just as she's going to take your feelings and your needs into consideration. Don't let it just be one way. That's what I'm teaching mine.
Okay. Okay.
What you expect from her, you need to be willing to give to her as well.
All right. Final thoughts, Mimi. What are your final thoughts on tonight?
My final thoughts are that um, I really need for us to stop blaming each other. We are not against each other. You know, we're the only people, I believe, a black woman and a black man that truly understand the struggle, truly understand the pain, and the discrimination and the veiled racism that we endure every single day. We need to stop fighting each other. We need to stop blaming each other. It's no one person's fault. We need to get to a point where we need to heal. We need to deal with unresolved hurt. We need to deal with the family issues, the pathology, the generational curses. That's what I call the pathology. And we need to change those behaviors, and we need to start treating people as we want people to treat us. And I believe that's when change will happen.
That's good. My final thoughts would be you got to heal yourself. Once you're healed, then you can see a whole through a whole nother lens. I invite everybody to find somebody that you can talk to, find somebody that you can pour into, as well as somebody can pour into you. Because what we're teaching our children and other people that we encounter is what matters. You have to make sure that you're being, I don't care what you're doing, somebody's always watching you. How you deal with an issue, somebody's watching you. So be careful in what you show them. Be careful what you teach people because they'll interpret what you're teaching and use it in a way that may not be good. Those are my final thoughts. So listen, follow us on Instagram, In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. Follow us on Facebook, Montee and Mimi, and on YouTube Live. Can we get that check? We're trying to get a check. In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. We just don't do it because we want to check. We do it because we love y'all and we like having these hard conversations or these arguments, as Mimi says tonight. We argue. We do it so then it sparks more conversations when you go to work, when you are with your family, when you're laying in bed and talking to a friend or you're talking to your significant other. However, and we also do it so that you can inspire your children. We all have children and we all want you to be able to produce productive citizens in the world, regardless of the color, gender, or their sexual orientation. We want you to be great. Have a wonderful night. We love you. I love you, Mimi. Good night.
I love you too, baby. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
I got something to say. I got something to say.